you get your nursing degree, but then you decide to become a literary agent. How does that come about, and how is that your path back toward writing?
So so really the way that came about was I really, well, I decided not to get the midwifery degree. I got the nursing degree, and then I kind of, I tried a couple of nursing jobs and realized that I was really not suited for it. Um, like in a deep, deep way. I'm someone who suffers from anxiety, and the anxiety of being responsible in that particular way with like life or death, um, it really just wasn't for me. So when I started, writing for the American Journal of Nursing, and then started writing fiction, and then decided, well, I really want to work in publishing, and then uh, I was an unpaid intern for 2 years, reading for other agents. Um, this was a dozen years ago, 12, 13 years, 14 years ago.
Around 2011 thereabouts.
Yeah. Um, and that's what I did. I just read for other agents. I put myself out there, and I was like, I can't even remember how I got the first one, but um, I did that. And then um, finally I was at an agency uh, where I said, like I was reading for an agent at one agency, and then I really wanted to move on. It had been like 2 years of this, right? So I, put my feelers out, and I kind of looked for a position as an intern where that would lead to something more, and it became really obvious very quickly to the agent that I was working for that I was good at this. So I became, she said that I could start my own list. And I did. And within a few months, I sold my first book, which was Openly Straight by Bill Konigsberg. Beautiful, beautiful book.
And are you writing at the time, or is the hope that
Oh
agenting is
gosh, no.
that's going
No.
to fulfill that need?
No, you know what? Because even though like I had started writing fiction, I hadn't really started writing novels. I was writing short stories, and I was, um, just like kind of writing short stories, really. Uh, and when I look at them, they weren't very good. But it was something brand new to me, because, like I said, I was someone who had only written poetry, so I didn't really know how to tell a story over, you know, 200 pages. I knew how to talk about an emotion for, you know, 30 lines. So I think I started learning how to tell a story. And then I think after years of agenting, I really learned like what works and what doesn't work. Um, I think for me, like when I got the MFA, what I needed to do was I needed to like put those two things together. So like I knew that I was creative, and I knew that I could write. Like I don't mean to be like braggy, but like I knew that I could write. Um, and I knew what made um a story, like a book, a good book, because I had, helped midwifed all these books out into the world, right? But putting those two things together for myself as a creator, um, that was what I needed to help with, and that's why I got the MFA, because I needed to like put those two sides together. Um, so I was an agent for I think 5 years, 5 years before I went got the MFA. Then that was 2 years, so I was an agent for like 7 years, and then it took me a while to finish it after the MFA. So I was probably an agent for about 8 years, maybe 9 years before um, before this book, started really germinating and really, getting my own agent and stuff like that. And can I tell you, querying was really, really weird. Because I was basically querying people who were my colleagues. And if you think it's bad getting rejected by strangers, it's really weird getting rejected by like your colleagues and sometimes your friends. That was really weird. Didn't like it. Didn't
I'm
like
assuming
don't
they're at the very least not sending you a form rejection.
Yeah, I didn't get, well, I did get a couple of no responses. Wow. Wow. Hope I don't run into you at a conference bar.
Maybe they're just hoping you'll believe that the inbox aided, or it just never came through. Some technical
No,
mishap.
I don't know. Don't know.
Does seem. Well, I'm curious just about getting the MFA program. I'm assuming word gets out that you're an agent. Do you then have fellow students sidling up to you and like, "Hey, how you doing? You want to read some of my work?"
Nope.
Or professors?
Nope.
Nope.
Nope. Because one of the things that I made really, really clear, the writing for children and young adults cohort at the new school was very small, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm an agent, but I'm here to learn just as much as you are. I wasn't any, I wasn't even the best. I definitely wasn't the best writer in the cohort. Some brilliant writers, but I basically, made a promise to myself, and I don't think it wasn't like official, but like basically to the university and said, in my 2 years in this program, I'm not taking on anyone on the program. So,
Gotcha.
yeah,
When you do a similar policy, I know you teach creative writing and do workshops. You
I
put up some
do.
policy up there for students.
I mean, I wouldn't really, I certainly wouldn't take anyone on during a course, right? But that being said, I've worked with people whose work I've really admired. And I would say something like, well, when you finish this, I hope you query me, right? Now you know me, right? So now you can, query me and I know you. And, that always helps, right? It's nice to know that it's a nice person. I mean, like you'd be a great manuscript, but if the person is like, hard to work with or whatever, that's always not great. So yeah, so
So helpful. You
I don't
told me
really
you got rejected by friends and colleagues.
say that
So
again.
I said, when you say it always helps to know you, but you told me you got rejected by friends and colleagues. So
I know. That's why the first thing I said was that it was really weird. It was really weird.